Well, today we're going to talk about the discovery group process and just the steps that are involved in that. And the discovery group process really is at the core of this whole process of disciple making. And there are 5 basic steps in this discovery group process. And these steps are essential DNA components so that as the group matures, as people become believers, they have already, as a community together, uh, experienced how they should really function together as a group. So the first step is that we just talk about what we're thankful for. And we would allow each person, if everyone wants to participate, just share something that they are thankful for. We don't necessarily say, what are you thanking God for? Because it may be that at this point the group is made up of a lot of people who are not yet believers. So we just talk about what are you thankful for and enjoy kind of getting to know each other on that level. Then the second step is that we would talk about what are the stresses or the things that are challenging you. Maybe there's something that's been tough in your life over the last week or so, and it's something that you might want to share with the group. And as people share that, we are able then to say, as we move on to the third step, is there some way that there's somebody in this group that might be able to help? And perhaps it's the kind of challenge in somebody's life that another group member can come alongside and help them. And we're building in from the very beginning the kind of dynamics that are going to make this group, as it grows and matures, as people become believers, a real community of people that really want to care and help for each other. Then the fourth thing that we will do is then move into our Bible study process. And the Discovery Bible Study is the major component of what the group does when they meet together. And there are 3 basic components in the Discovery Bible Study process. The first component is that we will read or even write out the scripture that we're going to be studying together that week. The second component is that we will then allow for different members of the group to say what it means, use their own word to describe what that particular passage of scripture means. And then the third one is that they will say what they might do in response to that scripture, how they might obey. Then the next step in the process would be to say to the group, who are you going to share this with this week? Some of what you've been learning as we've been discovering God together. Who's on your list that you'd like to share that with? Those are the basic steps. When we move on to the second week and beyond, what we would add to those steps are, as we come back the second week, we would say, who did you share this with last week? And how did it go? And tell us about that. And hold each other accountable in that process. And we do the same thing then for the process of what did you hear God saying to you last week in terms of how you should obey what you heard in the scripture from the previous week. And give people a chance then to respond back to us with how they obeyed and how it went. And this is part of holding each other accountable in the context of this community of people that are meeting together. So those are the basic steps of this group process. And when those are set right, the DNA is built in right from the beginning, so that as this group begins to grow and mature together, they've experienced what it is really like to be part of a group that really cares for each other and holds each other accountable, and they begin to really grow together as a community of believers.